Hello, my name is Drew Bailey, drewbailey9996@gmail.com, or Drew Bailey, all lowercase, at facebook.com. This one's Exxe number 5, entertainment. The idea of this one is to make a 360 180-day tour. The live bands are going to be recruiting and doing 3D and virtual reality dimensional recruits and recruitment using virtual reality equipment. What is going to be awesome about this is it's going to be a global network. It's going to be like the modern day Woodstock. We're going to have platforms on all different avenues of the world. And once you hit the platforms, you can see and watch either from your TV. From your TV, it would be anywhere from $2 to $4.99 to watch the live event from your TV. You could choose and network and grid through all these live events, all these live concerts, pretty much like a constant party. The 180 to the 360 tour is bands and groups and concert venues which offer to go on tour the whole 360, touch on all the platforms and all the best places on the planet to party, or to go 180 days in recruiting, finding the underground, and finding the network. Underground of this is going to be the people that have the 3D theaters, the 3D tours, and the 3D performances. What they can do is set up underground clubs or mainstream clubs so that people that are on the underground, quote unquote, trying to come up, trying to be on the, Martha Stewart or the Garth Brooks or whatever you want to call it, the famous people that are in the present mainstream, Kid Rock, 50 Cent, or whoever you want to say the famous name to be. They are these people on the underground that are trying to aspire to become them, rappers, artists, composers. They can have their bars set up so that they can actually be on performance as well, so that people can take tours for the $2 to $4.99 and actually see underground venues and underground venue captions. But it kind of bridges the gap between. It'll make it so that we could have a virtual reality or a 360 VR or 3D tour, like almost like Google Glasses introduction, where people are going around and doing a tour and making it so that people who are on the underground coming up can have their own venue on this TV network channel. The 360 channel will be played on DirecTV or some synopsis like that, where they have the opportunity to subscribe for $14.99 or $49.99, almost like a pay-per-view, where they can actually be live on tour and have for a certain fee, where they actually have people like AMOs or IMOs that actually are going on the tour for them, so they can see behind the scenes. They can have introductions, they can have meet the bands, they can have the 3D experience all in one venue, almost like I said, Woodstock tour, where it's all multiple points, but it's on a global perspective of Woodstock. We have played Song for the Troops, have it be touch bases on actual military bases. Number 5, entertainment and design for the broader entertainment media outlets, 3D movie theater, 4-5D movie theater, and conventional additives, electronic globe, IMAX similar to Vin Diesel movie, where they have the ionization. This is actually a similar but a different idea on a number 5, entertainment, where you make entertainment be more than just 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, where you actually make it a 5-dimensional theater where you go into a white room or green screen, and you have this theater set up for senses. You have the theater set up for chemical reactions. You have the theater set up so that not only are they experiencing the fear, but there's actually chemicals in the air that makes so that the fear is more reality. Microphone, like Jedi lightsaber for pain. Yeah, I'll probably touch on this one. Yeah, why not? So there was a idea to come up with a microphone, kind of like a lightsaber, and anyone on the stage has an RFID chip. Based in the chip, they are able to move around and perform in these theaters or these networks. So you go into, like, let's say, a concert venue or someplace like that. The whole room is green, or the whole room is white. Once the lights go out, you can interact with certain dimensional parameters of advanced entertainment, lightning bolts, just like on Vin Diesel XXX, where they have the centrifuge or Tesla set up so that it can interact with the audience. You can also have it where it dims the lights and shoots things across, where the rooms are scented, where it's more than just a movie-going experience. It's more than just a 1D, 2D, 3D sit down and enjoy it. It's actually an interactive experience in a theater as a whole. Same platform would apply to the 3D 180 tour. You would have these tour venues and sites set up where the audience would actually interact and be part not only of the show, but the show would be part of them, where the 3-dimensionality is kind of interacting and combining to make it so that the broader show is just on a platform. The actor actresses in an amusement park, the audience can smell cotton candy. For example, AC/DC controls each smell and air conditioner set, etc. Project that interacts with the viewers, their phone or their technology devices. On every third seat, spaced every 5 or 10 project come from the ceiling or the wall. Like a button, audience can sit in a 3D motion audience seat. Screensavers. Screensaver for phone, that's kind of a little bit different. Back to the 365. 365 Woodstock, a competitive venue that plays for 1 year straight, at least 3 live bands a day, performing at a central location in the U.S. Full throttle, it's a telecast on the Interaction Hall. Concept venues have 3D tour guide wearing 3D glasses, each after arena using events, state, internet, live design. Campfire, each section of the 365 stock has a 3D venue to watch for real time on the internet, on television, or on via phone for $4.99 per week, or per day, or per session. Per week, the real time guide and the people on tour on the resident 3D stock can take suggestions for ideas or ideas for improvement based on posts and rate some. It can be very adaptive, frequently doing exactly what the person on the other end wants, almost like an emo or a clone or a drone or somebody sent and assigned by you. Each group that plays a 360 treats a single plaque, picture of the band, and an area is made like a park. So everyone that comes to the 3D section or the 3D tour, they get to leave a piece of themselves. They bring, like, let's say, a coconut from Hawaii in their Hawaii group, and they leave it with in a box or something that's set up for each concert venue that's on the 3D tour. So the whole 3D or the 180 tours are going all around the world and touching places in all these venues. So even though they don't interact or they don't play together, they each get to go to these parks that are dedicated to them, that are dedicated to contributing to the greater whole of the band, the group, or the project as a whole. And then in the end, they're pretty much immortalized with the park or whatever design or whatever the concept they have. And they say we participated on the virtual reality 365, 180, 360 tour. And then you have all underground groups that are going to come up and be able to be incorporated in as well. Each of them get equal sized plaques, equal sized performance, equal sized platforms, equal sized sculpture, equal sized designs. And each park or destination place on the tour has, like, let's say, certain parameters. Like, let's say you have to bring something or do something that's the size of a book, size of a box of matches, size of a coconut, size of whatever it is, and has to, and then you just go on the tour and you leave pieces of yourself, pieces of your band, pieces of your group. Somebody left a pick, somebody broke a guitar on stage, left a string, whatever it may be, and then you get the group as a whole. And then at the end of the 365, 360 tour, 180 tour, you have people that go back and backtrack on the steps, and you can almost have it like geocaching or Pokemon, or Pokemon Go, where you collect on going on a road tour and say, well, I'm collecting objects from the 360 tour. My group left something in some kind of memorabilia. So each group plays chooses a single plaque, a picture of the band, and an area is made like a pack as 360 forms by during and after all the artwork is combined, making the project the group of the tour immortal. 365 stock can start in multiple countries so that the viewer can cause a global market split screen view and can show real time the concert around the world, giving the viewer option which to explore via phone, direct TV, or laptop, and credits of additional fee can be used to book venues, private parties, or an underground site on and off-site 360 tour of each gets passed to magazine sponsor guide places that are posted interviews and private stock behind the scene interaction. Like the Matrix ball, the rabbit sign. So he was reluctant to do it, then he went in and did it, and then it was a totally different venue, and until he realized that his reality was a totally different avenue than what he was actually perceiving. The rabbit itself was just kind of a concept or an idea of him stepping out of his reality. This would be similar in the sense that people would be able to pick and choose their venues, pick and choose who they're going to follow. They can do guided tours, they can do global tours, they can do behind the scenes, they can do tour buses, they can do people that are not as poor, not as rich as the rich and famous, and they're up and coming undergrounders how they fly around tracking or being the roadies or being the stepping stones to these bigger venues, playing the concert shows in between, you know, flying first class, flying coach, whatever it is, to follow these tours. You do a fanfare of fans that are following the groups, and they have their own 3D glasses and what their venue is and what they've collected, what they contribute. And support from the venues, the live tour around the world, 180 days, stream tour group on the road from start to finish. Start one, tour goes 100 to 365 days around the world and ends at 365 site. Plaques at each tour site, dedicated underground groups, and contribute sponsors, fund rather than the scene, waking up the global network, having a 365 concert on yachts and international waters, a 365 city tour, monument tours. Each venue has a unique spot location around called China, Stonehenge, Las Vegas, underground film, then concert venues and climb the ladder, playing 365. Request show, rise of the concert, the groups, tour request, video set, group invite. So people that want to be on 360 tour and have the technology in order to do virtual reality shows, the concert venues or the concerts that they're going to be touring with, like let's say Metallica. Metallica says we need a concert venue in between. We need 3 or 4 underground groups or 5 or 10 underground groups to play on 5 venues. We need to do a submission for someone to be requested to be these concert venues. Well, these underground groups across the globe or across the United States say, well, I want to be on and play with Metallica. So they submit a video and they submit it to Metallica. Metallica gets to watch, pick who's going to be the 10 underground venues with them, and then they go on tour. Metallica doesn't pay for everything. Maybe they'll have to fly coach 1 or 2 tours. Maybe they won't get paid as great as Metallica gets paid, but they're going to go on tour with Metallica and play the venues and the shows in between. That's where it says climbing the ladder. It's pretty much like what's that show? Where they had you a little brief synopsis of who the people are, where they come from, what's their background, and then why they want to be on America's Got Talent. Why they want to be on America's Got Talent, and then it shows them coming up and rising up and where they're from, where they're going, and how they came to be. Well, you can do the same thing with like America's Got Talent. They do a brief synopsis. They submit it to Metallica. They submit it to Metallica's people. Metallica's people watch and say, well, here's who we chose. Metallica gets to sit down again and say, well, let's watch who's the best of the best that you've selected. They select the best of the best. Those 10 go on tour. 180 days on tours, locations, options, and certain detailed information. Transportation, flight, venue details, Metallica RV tour, see Metallica RV tour. Metallica did an RV tour back in the 80s, 90s, where they went across the country and they were going to surprise everybody. It's kind of like that. You could have tours and venues where there's a certified tour site, like each bar that pays to sponsor in or is offered or asked to be a sponsor be considered one of the party spots in the world or a venue site. They set up the equipment, and then it could be weeks, months, or with sometime within a year that they actually turn on the equipment and use the equipment. But it's kind of like a hit and miss and surprise where you have multiple concert venues going in all different directions, where you could do surprise stops, like special uninvited guests, where a tour is en route and they have a special, each of these sites set up, already ready to perform, already ready to go, and then the tour says, or gives a 12, 24-hour, 36-hour advance, 48-hour, even maybe the same night, oh, we stopped by in this town, we decided to hold off the next venue, or we got a few weeks in between, we want to go perform. Well, the site is all set up, the venue's all set up, the club, the bar, or the theater, or the stadium is all set up. Well, all they got to do is say, well, we got a few days between, we're going to go perform, and then they do almost like a flash concert where people just go through their local radio stations, networks or stations. They put together this spur of the moment, spontaneous, about like Woodstock concert venue, and they go on and they do their performance, and then they go back on the 365 tour after their gap in between, and everyone's amazed that they got to watch whoever it was perform. MTV spot, MTV 365, TV with music video, endorsements, venues, modern day mainstream between concerts, sub points around the world, watch the live concert, 365 days a year via 365 stock venue, the fan methods, meeting the van, behind the fans, the mecca of the tour. So, mecca of the tour is just pretty much how what fans will do to get to the venue. What people will do to save. I watched one about a Brazilian family that saved up for 2 or 3 years to go to a venue out there. It's pretty much just the life of the fan before and after the fan, and the fan and what the fan will go through in order to get to his favorite show, his favorite concert, or his favorite artist. And it's just going to kind of be a multi-collaborative effort where you click on DirecTV, the screen splits into 8, 10, or 12 different sections. One section you can see the fans, one section you can see the tour bus, one section you can see the live concert, one section you can see the venues, one section you can see commentary, media, behind the scenes. You can have media networks and collaboratives do the exact same thing. And just go with it, just roll with it, and show the opposite side of what it is to be on one side of the film, on the opposite side of the film, and just have this total three-dimensional realm where it's 360, where it's panoramic, where you can go on your computer and you can pan 100% around, like the Sistine Chapel. You want to see what 3D technology can do? Google Sistine Chapel 3D, and you go on your computer and do 3D. Now imagine if you have 3D Google glasses, or 3D glasses where you can put on and you can actually go through the Sistine Chapel or through a live concert, and you can pan around and do the same panoramic thing that you do on the 3D Sistine Chapel. This is actually number 5, entertainment. This is going to be Exxe 365 Woodstock. And if you have any comments, any questions, my name is Drew Bailey. My email is going to be drewbailey9996@gmail.com. My Facebook is Drew Bailey, all lowercase. The symbol that I'm going to be put on my Facebook so that everybody can separate out between me and the other Drew Baileys, because I'm sure there's a few. Actually, I've tried that name before because there are so many. I went ahead and used an alternative Drew Bailey. Symbol I'm going to be put on Facebook is this symbol. It's a circle. It's half moon, it looks like. It goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes over, and then there's a box in the corner. That's the symbol, and then in the middle, there is a pyramid. Okay. The symbol has a lot of meaning behind it: Earth, space, time, moon, sun, stars, alignments, destination dates, pyramids, God, honor, duty, honor, country, Trinity, box within a box within a box, compilation that everything falls apart, comes back together, but it all has to because it's murdered by 3. So, in regard to this, I look forward to hearing from you. The network builds on another network. If this is the first video you've seen of me, go ahead and look into my Facebook or my GoDaddy, and I'll have a website set up so that you can monitor off all the other Exes that I'm building. Exxe is just a concept of an idea so that we can build off a multitasking network. I can work with you, you can work with me. We all work together to make the multiple platform to put this together. I have a little bit of venue experience. I've worked in call centers, managed about 4,000 or 5,000 people. I have never really done a concert venue or anything to that effect. I've worked and been in situations with people that are performers and venue hosts. I don't know any firsthand at the moment, so if you're a venue host and you want to be the forefront of putting this together, helping me launch this, please shoot me an email. Again, drewbailey9996@gmail.com, and let's go ahead and put this together. Everything right now is free. As far as cash, cost, everything to that effect, that's in your professional opinion. Your Ticketmaster, or how we're going to put this together, that's another professional matter for you to address. But it's a start, and I look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully all is well, and we should get this rolling. It's a global network, so let's think it simple and keep it local, and then we'll launch it from there. Have a good day. Take it easy. Peace out.